Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purple Lunar Rose Tarot and Astrology. Today, I'm going to be reading for the Divine Feminine Energy. It is going to be a collective Celtic Cross reading. We're going to dive into the heart of the matter and pull out some spiritual guidance at the end, right? Guys, please remember we are multi-streaming, so we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I know that we're on at a really unique, different time. I'm trying to throw in some daytime lives. I know that some of you are on the other side of the planet, right? And so you can't always be up at 8 p.m. when we normally go live. So I'm hoping that these will catch those of you that needed the earlier hour, right? If you happen to catch it live and want to hang out with me, yay. If you don't worry. Watch time is always very appreciated. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. I will say I have a little music playing in the background. I hope it's not too distracting or too loud. Um, but I thought it was funny that right before the live Gangster's Paradise by Coolio came on. So that could give us a little bit of an idea of what the energy or what the reading will be like, right? All right, let's jump in, get started. Divine Feminine, Celtic Cross reading. I am going to use the Yin Yang Oracle, and I've decided that I'm going to clarify with the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. All right, so let's start out. Heart of the matter. What's the focus for Divine Feminine? What's the message that Spirit wants to get out? So self-care comes out, energy comes out. So if you're feeling drained, depleted, I think the question that I'm hearing is how dedicated are you to your self-care? How committed are you to your self-care practices? All right, let's look and see what's crossing Divine Feminine. It's almost like there's some energy that's causing Divine Feminine to focus on self-care. Separation comes out. I also seen limitations and fears. Separation and longing. So that's what's causing the draining for Divine Feminine. It's going to be someone, right? Someone from your past. Surprise. I see Twitch and I see YouTube coming in. Welcome everyone. Um, so Divine Feminine, Celtic Cross readings, what we're doing today, very collective reading. So if you feel drawn, there definitely could be a message. I'm on at a pretty different time. We normally live stream at night, so we may definitely come across some new energy. All right, so separation is what's crossing the Divine Feminine, so it gives me this energy. We also see limitations and fears. So if you resonate with Divine Feminine energy, you most likely are in a separation from your Divine Masculine, and you could feel like you're being limited at this time. I remember one time having a conversation in my own journey with my own counterpart energy that many times when we're in separation, it's this feeling of being locked away or this feeling of like being in a box. And it does feel sometimes like when reunion happens, um, no contact is broken, uh, that it kind of seems like the light shines in, right? Which I mean, I think kind of makes sense because the divine masculine energy is the light, right? And the divine feminine energy is the darkness. And I am using the yin yang oracle, so just wanted to point that out. All right. Himani joining us on Facebook. Welcome. So now I'm going to look at what is the highest expectation. What's your highest expectation on the matter? And remember, the matter is self-care is needed due to some type of separation. The word longing is also on here. So we have past, lack, and suffering. So it's almost like highest expectation is that you know you're experiencing some type of suffering. That longing period may be extended for a period of time, but it's some type of like inner knowing. It's pretty interesting to me how she's holding her head in her hand. So it's giving this energy of like Nine of Swords energy, which is about like anxiety and depression, PTSD, feeling triggered, again, limited or limitations. Um, but I want to point out that that energy, um, the anxiety energy especially, can be overcome with daily self-care practices. And I don't want to make light of things like depression, but it's very possible that some of you could be dealing with that energy as well. Let me clean up the chat just really quickly. Um, and again, self-care practices, daily self-care practices. I know that you can definitely overcome anxiety because I've done it myself. I'm not beat depression, so I can't come out here and tell you that you can um, beat depression, but you can definitely overcome it. You can definitely push the energy back. You can step more into the light, and that's kind of what I'm feeling for Divine Feminine. All right, let's look at energy that is not here yet. The limitation spheres card comes out. So I was sensing that when I seen it earlier. Now I'm going to look at something that is in the past. And we have contracts, career, and commitments. It says until debt tears us apart. Truth and expression is going to be on the bottom. I'm actually going to stop right here and I'm going to clarify a little bit. So some type of spiritual contract from your past, that is definitely the energy that you're longing for. Maybe could be feeling like you're in some type of separation. I want to point out that separation is an illusion. All right, let's clarify a little bit for Divine Feminine. Let's look at that self-care. What is it you're not doing? What is it Spirit thinks you need to do more often? So the Hanged Man is here. It's Pisces energy. It's stuck energy. It's feeling like you, it's sacrifice is the word I just heard. You could feel like you've been sacrificed. But there's this energy of not making a move, again, due to fear. Most of the time when you see the Hanged Man, he'll be blindfolded. And it's this energy of scared to make a move, not sure which direction to go, feeling like you may lose something if you do take some type of action. So Pisces, Hanged Man energy coming out. The World is also coming out. And Queen of Pentacles is coming out. I do see Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is about having healthy boundaries. And most likely, if you're experiencing some type of separation, it's definitely going to have something to do with having healthy boundaries and respecting healthy boundaries. I feel like it's possible that the World card is giving you this energy of new opportunity. And Queen of Pentacles is here. So it's like Divine Feminine, you're getting some type of new opportunity to take responsibility for something. This could be responsibility for your self-care, responsibility for your peace of mind. All right. Separation. That's the energy that's crossing. We have this Strength card coming out. We have Wheel of Fortune coming out. And we have Queen of Cups coming out. So with this energy of what's crossing you, Five of Pentacles is on the bottom. So Five of Pentacles says it's okay to ask for help. But with this energy of what's crossing you, the separation and the longing, The Strength card tells me this is something you've been having to deal with for a long time. This separation could be for longer than you had expected. Wheel of Fortune is here. It does say that things are going to start to bend in your favor. And then we also have Queen of Cups. And Queen of Cups, it says that this is about you taking time to heal yourself, replenish yourself. It's that self-care energy. So I think the message is just pretty clear. You're focused, or you're putting all of your energy into something else or someone else, maybe even letting that energy like siphon your own power in some way. And that's what's giving you this feeling of longing for something, like you're not whole, like something is separate from you. Because remember, I said separation is an illusion. I'm seeing Leo energy and Pisces energy, Sagittarius energy with the Wheel of Fortune. All right, let's look at the highest expectation, because the highest expectation says that you feel like you're going to continue to suffer. This doesn't mean that it's true. That's just your energy. This is what you're thinking or you're feeling, like this is going to last forever. Six of Cups comes out. Six of Cups is reunion energy, but it's also like nostalgia and, again, thinking of someone from the past. Page of Pentacles is a clean slate, a new beginning, and King of Cups comes out. King of Cups is my clue card for Divine Masculine. I love that we have the pair. It's rare that I get to see the both of them together. So I know that normally most readers will use the Emperor and the Empress as Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. There's actually four sets of King and Queens in tarot, right? So, of course, there's the Cups, there's the Pentacles, the King and Queen of Wands, and the King and Queen of Swords. I always say that if I got to choose which one I wanted to be, I would choose the King and Queen of Cups, because that that energy, the cup energy, is about emotion and love, right? But King of Cups is also this energy, and I know that it is a clue card for the Divine Masculine, but it's also an energy of needing to get control of your emotions or needing to get control of your feelings. All right, energy that's coming into being that you don't know yet. I think you have been feeling limited. I do feel it has more to do with your fears than it does counterpart energy. But we're going to pull some tarot. So we have Three of Swords coming out. We have King of Swords coming out. And we have Eight of Pentacles coming out. So if you're feeling limited, I feel like Spirit's about to show you some type of healing is needed when it comes to your truth, your story, or even your testimony. Eight of Pentacles is about focus and dedication, which is also giving me this energy of following purpose. So I guess the Spirit's asking, how committed are you to your healing journey? How committed are you to your purpose? All right, I'm going to look at the past energy, and that was careers, commitments, and contracts. So I feel like it's pretty clear we're looking at collective energy that is experiencing soul contracts. You definitely could feel like your commitment is being tested at this time. Six of Wands is here. It's a victory. Knight of Swords is here. It's about breaking free from something. And Seven of Swords is here. So Seven of Swords could be disbelief, but on the bottom, I see the Devil card, Capricorn energy. So what I'm getting here is, in the recent past, you experienced some victory where you broke free from some type of Capricorn energy, or maybe even some type of karmic energy. This could be a relationship. This could be a job, a family member that's mistreating you, something like this. So you've broken away from that energy and you're more focused and committed on your own healing, your own spiritual growth, because that's kind of what I'm getting with the Seven of Swords. It's more this energy of leveling up. All right, guys, so that's the first half. Somebody said, are those Pokemon cards? No. I'm just going to slide these over. We're going to do the second half. And I'm going to use the elemental wisdom this time to clarify. All right, second half. Here we go. So future energies coming in for divine feminine that you don't know yet. We have disharmony, triggers, and conflict, but it was coming out in reverse. How others around you are impacting the situation, which, remember, heart of the matter was self-care. We have forming structure and solid foundation. So you could feel like your foundation isn't solid. You could feel like you're questioning your inner circle. You could feel like you're drawn more towards like minds instead of old friends. You could have experienced something in your inner circle that made you realize your foundation was built out of false information. Which could have caused the need for self-care. All right, let's look at how you're impacting the situation. We have Ace, Water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I would say check all the water energy in your chart for sure. I'm a Cancer rising. But how you're impacting the situation is you're allowing your emotions to control your actions. If you were less emotional about whatever the longing or separation is that you're feeling, you would be more focused on your self-care. You would be more committed to your self-care practices. All right, let's look at hopes and fears. We have alchemy and ancestor guides. So I do feel like you have some type of ancestors, you have spirit guides, you have someone who is helping you come into some type of alignment, helping you go through some type of emotional healing. All right, outcome, I'm going to pull and I'm just going to stick it right up there. On the bottom, we do have earth energy. So this is about grounding, which is about implementing what you've learned, right? All right, let's look at those future energies. Triggers came out in reverse. I feel like Divine Feminine is getting several opportunities to handle triggers that have been resurfacing, especially since we've moved into this retrograde season. All right, Six of Swords comes out. So being guided to calmer waters. Remember, this is future energies. Page of Cups. Page of Cups could be a small offer. It could have something to do with an apology. And Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords is a completion to something that was painful, some life cycle that was painful. So I feel like future energies, it's very possible that you're guided to apologize to someone. Um, but I mean, I think it's more possible that someone apologizes to you for the false foundation. Let's look at that foundation energy. We have the magician, Virgo energy. This is something that you've overanalyzed. You've tried it every which way there is. You could be overthinking something about this energy as well. Five of Wands, again, it was very challenging. And the Lovers. That's my clue card for the twin flame journey. It's Gemini energy. It also says that you finally chose you. I know that we want to think that the Lovers is like some fantasy fairy tale type of energy, but honestly, it just means that you choose to heal yourself so that you can come into some type of mutual bond, feeling healthy and healed and whole. But let's see why you're so emotional with that water energy, on how this impacts the heart of the matter, which was self-care, or maybe lack of self-care or commitment when it comes to self-care for divine feminine. We have the Chariot, Cancer energy. You could feel like you've lost something. Four of Wands is that foundation energy. So your foundation has crumbled and you're having to rebuild. And Page of Wands is here. Page of Wands is spiritual awakening, but it also, again, points out the fact that you have spirit guides or spiritual team that's helping you rebuild your foundation. All right, so alchemy is your hopes and fears. In other words, you hope to walk away from this painful transition, ending of some type, separation, of course. Being able to alchemize the energy, being able to turn the pain into love, into light. Knight of Wands is here. Knight of Wands talks about getting excited about something. Two of Swords is here. That's that energy of like feeling stuck, not sure which way to go. And Five of Pentacles is here. Five of Pentacles is being able to ask for help. All right, let's look at that outcome for Divine Feminine. We have action, courage, Jupiter, and beginnings. Guys, Leo new moon is upon us, so not too surprising to see the very passionate energy as the outcome. And Leo is definitely about bold moves and courageous action. So we have Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups does say that you're going to walk away from something. You're going to walk towards your Two of Cups. You've realized that you've done everything you needed to do in this situation, and it's time to continue on your journey. Three of Wands is taking that action. And then Four of Swords is healing and blessing in disguise. Ace of Cups is on the bottom. So I do feel like for Divine Feminine, you are going through some type of separation. I always say that separation is God's protection. But I do feel that it has something to do with healing your emotions, maybe even, like I'm hearing, regulating your nervous system, things like that. And that will be the focus of this particular separation that you're going with. But I also believe that you're going to be able to alchemize. In other words, you're going to be able to transmute all of that pain and take courageous action, especially when you realize that this healing period, Four of Swords, was a blessing in disguise, right? All right, I'm going to leave that right there for Divine Feminine. I hope that reading was helpful, guys. Short and sweet. I'm going to try to squeeze in more of these, especially during the day. I know we always catch new energy during the day, but I am going to be live Thursday night with all 12 signs, and that's going to be at 8 p.m. Central Time. It was nice to see you, Hermione. Hope to see you soon. Thank you, guys. I'm always, always sending you love on your journey.